and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 163. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer. I tell you what, if someone calls me Mutt Fixer one more time, I'm going to destroy them. That kind of funny community, I'm going to get them. I'm telling you, I'm going to get them. I'm one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside Gatorades, Get Hype Moments, MC Fixer. Jesus, slow by Mike. How are you, sir? Jeez.
I'm MC Fixer now. Call me MC Fixer.
I'm like introducing myself twice. What the hell? I'm not gonna lie. I'm bunged up. My head is a bit, and I've got the winter cold. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sick. Haley got me sick, so I'm a bit worse for wear this week, if I'm honest with you. But the show must go on. The show must go on, as we say.
Show must go on. Are you sure it's not the Resident Evil plague? You might be turning into a zombie in front of us. I know you're, Resident Eviling it up.
Look, all right, so let's talk about it real quickly. So, for those who Patreon supporters are the ones that really get shafted this week, because I'm out there Monday playing Resident Evil. I'm doing my thing, finishing up Resident Evil 0. For those who don't know, I'm playing through every single Resident Evil game in canon order over on twitch.tv/MCFixer, leading up to obviously the big one, which is Resident Evil 2 Remake. So I'm out there, I'm having a fun time, I'm doing my thing, and then there's this guy called Snowbite Mike pops in my chat. And I go to myself, oh shit, Snowbite Mike's here. Yeah, that's great. Da, 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 da. And then instantly, I was like, oh no, I messed up. Why is Snowbite Mike awake? It's 5 o'clock in the morning out there in the wintry snows. I'm like, no! And then I knew. As soon as he was like, so are we not podcasting today? I'm like, I'm so sorry, Mike. I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it, I swear.
No big deal at all, Fix. I got some extra Z's, so today yes. I'm coming at you with some energy.
Cool. Yeah, I apologize, but yeah. So I've been playing through Resident Evil, as you know. We'll talk about that when what's in the box. But you, what's been up with you? What's new out there in the Snowbite Mike world?
Oh my gosh, winter is in full effect. We're gearing up for the holidays. Really, the holidays will kick off for me and my team out here on Saturday, all the way through January 5th, 6th, or 7th, I believe. And we're going to gear up and have a lot of fun. I've been offered another awesome MC gig, so I will MC New Year's Eve here in Lake Tahoe. So you can either catch me at the Heavenly Village, or I'll be over at Mont Bleu Casino and Resort. So that one will be a fun one. That's going to be more adult themed. Nice. And then the one down in the village will be more family oriented with a 9 p.m. roll call to get on that East Coast time. All the little younglings can go back to bed. Yeah. So I'm going to have a busy night New Year's Eve. And of course, I'm with Fix. Yeah. I had my Xbox in review for the year. Yes. I'm feeling good. I'm on top of my game right now.
So I don't remember all my stats, but I think mine was, for time played, I had 2%. For hours played, I was in the top 2%. It was top 2, top 1, top 2. So whatever order it is, have you got yours there by any chance?
I have mine. Nice. I took photos and a video of all mine, so I know what's going on.
Okay, so how is yours looking?
All right, so I have top 1% of gamer score.
Okay, yes.
So now I don't know what this means, because I looked at my buddy when we went to the movies last night. I was like, hey, I'm in the top 1%. And he's like, do you think that means of your community and friends, or do you think that really means the whole wide world? So now that's a tough one. That's a tough one to think about.
Yeah, I'd assume it would be the top 1% in the whole of Xbox. That's how I've always taken it, of the top 1% of the whole of Xbox. Could totally be wrong. I mean, I could totally, and I could just be boosting my own ego, because I'm in the top 1% as well. But,
exactly. I'll take that gold medal then. That's right. Come on.
But yeah, no, I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
All right, so top 1% of gamer score. Yep. I've had my Xbox since Xbox 360 back in 2004, so my gamer score should be through the roof. Yeah. You had enough played time. So my hours are top 4% of hours played in the entire world. What were you at on that one?
Top 2, I believe.
Okay, that's big, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, Joe, what? All right, keep talking, man. I'm going to try and find
Keep talking, okay. So number 3 then, you've earned enough achievements to put yourself in the top 1% of achievements earned. Mm-hmm. What did you feel like on yourself? Did you have any mindset on that one?
So I remember, like, for me, I haven't been an achievement whore and achievement hunting for a long time, because I fell out of it. It was one of those ones where I did love it, I enjoyed it, and then I stopped. It was just one of those things that I just stopped. I'm trying to find it. I'm pretty sure I'm top 1% now. I think that's just because the volume of games that I play though. Literally,
Exactly,
it's just I play so many games, so I'm popping achievements left, right, and center. Which obviously I like. It's nice, but I don't count it as. There's people out there that gamer score, they achievement hunt hard. Like you're not really into achievements, are you?
No, Fix, you and I are the exact same. I think it's because of the volume of all the games that I play. I bet you if you really look, the games that I do play, I'm probably only, 10% is pretty light, but I bet you I'm in that 10 to 30% range of like those early achievements.
Yeah.
Anything past that, you can tell I'm not putting in the work to go get 1,000, Drac me in Assassin's Creed or kill thousands of bounty hunters. I'm probably in that 10 to 30% of like, here's the early trophies or early achievements. You got them. Good for you,
Yeah, exactly.
All right, moving on comes down to the hours you put in. So I've put in a whopping 826 hours total, with 455 of those hours being PUBG gameplay, play.
Joe, why does that not surprise me at all with you?
My gosh.
I am, okay, here we go, I've got it up. So I'm in the top 1% of gamer score. I played enough time to be in the top 2%, which worked out to be 1,000+ hours.
Sweet.
Most of them being in Rainbow Six Siege, which I believe was over 500 hours in it. Which, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Not at all for me, no.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. I remember it breaking it down. It was like, shooters was like everything, because you had your list of like your top games of what they were. Like, it was like shooters, there was like action games, RPGs. I think it was like 5% this year, and I was like, I must have played more than that. And I was like, nope. I was like, when like deep down inside you're like, I play everything. I'm a guy that I try and play everything. And it's all bullshit. And it's all lies. I don't try and play everything. I've learned that I am totally 100% a shooter fan, which I didn't even realize I was. It's so weird after doing the year in review, Xbox year in review, and be like, oh wow, yeah, 1,045 hours. Is what I did.
Not bad, Fix. Nice.
I mean, to be fair, I should do that. This year I was full time. If I didn't do that, what have I been doing with my life?
I was telling my buddy that as well. I'm like, I'm over here with all these hours. He's like, I think that's your community, Mike. Like, there's got to be people playing more games than you. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, I'm putting in 5 to 6 hours a night on the Xbox. Yeah. Like, I got to be up there. And so my breakdown, like you said, I have 495 hours in shooters, 219 in action adventure, 73 in sports games, with I'm happy for, 23 in strategy hours, and 10 in platforming. And I think I get those strategy hours because I love The Sims, City Skylines, and I'm a big fan of Halo Wars too. So those were big ones for me, I believe.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it up now. You have to redo it again to get all your stats up. So
of course.
Okay, so yeah, I've got 500 hours in shooters. I've got 324 hours in action adventures games, 189 hours in sports, 21 hours in strategy, and 7 hours, Mike, in RPGs. Ooh. What the hell? I must have done more than that. My most played game was Rainbow Six Siege, coming in at the top. Number 2 was PUBG. Number 3 was FIFA 18. Number 4, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And number 5, Fortnite. So that makes sense.
That's interesting.
That makes sense.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. That's interesting. Your Fortnite is so low because mine goes PUBG as expected. Fortnite behind that at 92. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which we've been putting in work on. Halo Master Chief Collection, which I love near and dear.
Okay.
And then Sea of Thieves comes in 5th place.
Yeah, I mean, I put like 2 days into that, so that would have been nothing for me. Yeah, I mean, this year that makes a lot of sense, if I'm honest with you. PUBG, I remember playing a ton of when that dropped on Xbox. FIFA, we were doing FIFA Friday, so that makes sense why that happened. Assassin's Creed Odyssey could be, arguably, we'll find out next week or the week after. We still got to figure out what we're doing about next week's episode. Could be my game of the year. And Fortnite, I have this love-hate relationship with, which is I love to hate on it. Because it's one of those games where I was like, I hate it. And then I started playing it and I loved it. And then I hated it. Then I started playing it again and I loved it. It's one of those games that I'm super, super love and hate on it. So yeah, it's a hard one. It's a hard one to really do. But yeah, 1,045 hours total hours. Multiplayer games, 631 hours. And solo hours of gameplay was 414 hours. So I thought it would have been a higher split, if I'm honest. I thought I played way more multiplayer games this year than I actually did. So, interesting.
It was interesting. On my side, it was very multiplayer heavy. Probably like 90% to 10%. I was surprised. I thought I had put in some work on some single-player games.
Yeah.
But then when you break it down, like Halo Wars 2 is technically multiplayer. When I'm playing Master Chief, I'm playing Call of Duty, PUBG all the time. Like, all these are multiplayer games that you might think like, oh, Master Chief, I'm just kind of hanging out. But, man, it's so much fun. And they give you a cool snow globe at the end that you can show off to all your friends. Nice little touch there. And that's one I've never got to participate in years past. I've seen PlayStation do it. Yeah. I've never really seen Xbox promote it like they have this year, where I'm in that Twitterverse of, like, everybody sending it out. It's never felt like this high of a presence. So I was super happy to do it, and it was really cool, really fun, and can't wait for next year.
Yeah, no, last year's one was really fun as well, to be fair. I remember last year's one and people sharing it in the My Xbox and Me Facebook group, which everyone should do this year. If you've done your year in review, go post it in the My Xbox and Me Facebook group. I'd love to compare stats with people. But yeah, I'm surprised. I am surprised on some things. But it's been a great year for Xbox if we really look at it. What this does show me, though, obviously, like I say, Rainbow Six, PUBG, FIFA, Assassin's Creed, Fortnite. I suppose you could make an argument console exclusive PUBG, because it's only just coming out on PlayStation. No top quality exclusive games that I played this year for a long period of time, which is a bit of a shame, if we're being honest. There was nothing that really... Sea of Thieves didn't get me. State of Decay didn't get me. Forza Horizon 4 didn't get me. I'm missing. What am I missing from the first party side of things? I don't think anything. I think that was pretty much it, right? From first party.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting take on that, Fix. You know, it's tough for me. Like, when we talk about this, and we always kind of talk about either side. When I jump over and think about PlayStation, yes, they've had some great exclusives, but a lot of those are kind of that single player narrative driven 100%. Storytelling, where it's like you're gonna play that, let's just say 8 to 20 hour campaign, and then you're out of it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's tough for me to be like, oh man, I bet you on PlayStation I had a lot more exclusive gameplay. In reality, it's probably like, you know, I probably spent 20 hours with God of War and I was done. Yeah. As opposed to where it's PUBG or, you know, Call of Duty. These are all, everybody's got them. And I'm playing that because there's the community, there's the gameplay and the multiplayer. So I would be wowed if you could tell me a PlayStation game where you spent exclusive amount of hours on. That would be like, oh man, that's crazy. You know?
No, yeah, you're 100% right. You hit the nail on the head there. PlayStation had the more robust exclusives. The more robust storytelling exclusives. Obviously, with Spider-Man, God of War. What else did I play? Detroit Become Human. Those type of games this year. But you're right. I played them. I finished them. I'm done. And I'm back out. And I'm back on my Xbox. And I'm back playing all of these multiplayer games. So you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Yeah, let's just get into the intro, I guess. Damn. If you want this show early, head over to patreon.com/mcfixer. Tons of goodies over there. We're revamping a few little bits right now for our big year, because obviously our anniversary, MC Fixer's anniversary, is January 1st. That's when I launched 3 years ago now. 2-3 years ago, we'll figure that out. So I'm working on a video for you guys and some other bits and bobs, so that's happening. So go over there if you want to keep supporting. patreon.com/mcfixer. Go to the YouTube channels, youtube.com/snowbikemike, youtube.com/mcfixer, and youtube.com/myxboxandme. Me, Mike, and Amy all had a meeting this week, or last week I should say, about some things that we're going to be working on and some more discussions. So yeah, we're still on the lookout for writers as content creators and video people, hosts and video producers at the moment. So if you are someone that wants to get in the industry, someone wants to build up a portfolio of work, please email in myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com. You need a portfolio of work to show us that you know you can do it, and then we'll take it from there. Also find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play and Spotify, and we go live every Friday for those services. Mike, let's get into what's been in your box. What have you been playing this week?
Woo! We got 3 big titles coming to your Xbox Game Pass. One of them we're not going to count, but it's part of Winter Arcade, so I got a lot of fun games like that. Let's kick it off. You and I, I'm sure, Ashen. Yeah. Have you played Ashen?
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into that.
Yeah, so I played Ashen for about an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my biggest problem with Ashen was it was the Dark Souls co-op. That's how it was sold to me. It was a Dark Souls like game, very hard, very beautiful art style. But the good thing about this game was it was going to be co-op, fully co-op, easy to get in, no problems. From the hour that I played, it wasn't that. It was Dark Souls-like. It was beautiful. There's a story there that I didn't pay much of attention to. But me and Crash were trying to play it together, so we got into each other's game, no problem. But it does that weird thing where you disappear when you go into the campsites, or you go into certain zones.
Okay.
And I dislike that altogether. Because then it's a constant... What mission have you set? What mission have you taken? Oh, what are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? Oh, where are you? Oh, I'm killing people, but I'm standing exactly where you are because he's watching on my stream, and it just didn't work for me. And I said to Chris at the time, I said, why do these games struggle so much to have decent co-op? Because Ashen, to me, Dark Souls, Ashen, Bloodborne, those type of games, obviously Bloodborne being a PlayStation exclusive, but you understand what I'm saying, those type of games... for me, are quite fun because they're challenging games with good story, with great gameplay. Ashen's gameplay, fun, a ton of fun, don't get me wrong. But I 100% want to play those games co-op with somebody, so we're both screaming, we're both shouting, we're both enjoying taking down these enemies and these bosses. We're going to die a lot, we're going to get angry at each other. That's the whole point, that's the fun of it. But the co-op of these games never seem to just work. What happened to the good old days where you just I invite Snowbite Mike to a game, and he's there. And that's it, done, no problem. But no, that's not what we get in this game, unfortunately. It's a weird thing where you both have to put in the same numbers, and then you sort of magically appear in the game, but then, like I say, if you go into the... into certain zones, that then the second platinum disappears again. I just want a Borderlands experience with this. Drop in, drop out, and go. But unfortunately, that's not what I got. Have you played much of it?
Yeah, so I've probably played about 6 to 7 hours worth. I've played it exclusively solo.
Okay.
And so I'm a big fan of it. I think you really touched on every part that I was going to touch on. So to start off, it is beautiful. It is just like Dark Souls with the duck, dodge, roll, power attack, light attack. Really got to be managing your health bar, managing your extra resources to regain health or endurance. And I got to tell you, Fix, I love the world. I love the setting. It's nice to have something like this on Xbox, especially with Games Pass, where I can jump in, beat them up, die a couple times, get frustrated, leave. Now, like you just talked about, I have played all of my Dark Souls exclusively co-op. I have a buddy who's totally into it. He carries me through everything. So it makes the experience fun. We share moments together. That's everything I want. So I'm a little bit different than you because I've already gone through 3 to 4 with Bloodborne experiences where it's like, okay, where are you, Sean? Oh, I'm 5 levels ahead of you. That means you have to do X, Y, and Z by yourself. Okay, I guess I'll do that. And so I already know that kind of like pick and pull. We're going to meet here. Oh, we can't meet there. Okay, now I'm gone. You got to come back and get me. So I'm used to that. I haven't played co-op in Ashen yet. I'm very excited. I want to, but maybe I'll come at it with a different mindset because I already know that kind of Dark Souls. You have like, hey, if you're 10 levels ahead of me and 4 missions ahead of me, we're not going to see each other for a while. I understand that, but I agree. I would love to see, I think it's got to be due to some sort of level scaling or something like that, where it's like, Fix is level 2. I'm level 8. They got to understand if I come to Fix's world, just nerf me. You know what I mean? Just nerf me.
Exactly.
It's right.
That's like my biggest problem with these type of games of like, I remember I've tried Dark Souls before. Like I said, I love the gameplay. I love the premise of these games, but I'm not very good at video games anyway. And there are some nerdy ass people out there, like Greedy is. He loves these games. I know for a fact, if I was like, Greedy is, I need you to play Dark Souls with me, he would be like, let's go. I'm carrying you through. I'm doing this. I know what I'm doing. Fix do this. Fix do that. But I also know, which is what you just said, is, well, yeah, you've got to get to this point, and then you need... I remember in Bloodborne, it was like you needed a certain lamp, and you only got so many of them, and I'm just like, no, not for me. Not for me. That is not the experience I want. I want a co-op, drop-in, drop-out system, and that was sort of what... I don't know if it was sold to me, but it was definitely the experience I was expecting to get with Ashen, and unfortunately it didn't. So that was where I was just like, I get it, I understand it, not for me, unfortunately.
Well, before we go, I have two quick questions about that. When Crash did load into your world, was he his own character? Like, let's say, like in Bloodborne or in Dark Souls, I come in with my gear, my cool swords and stuff, right?
Got ya. Yeah.
Did he come in like that?
Well, so we both started exactly the same time. So
okay,
we were both the same level. We were both. So yeah, he did have he was his own character, but I believe so.
Okay, see, I think the easiest part to make that co-op experience, let me just take over the blonde guy, the Johnny Depp looking guy with the mustache. You know what I mean? He's already running around with you. Yeah. He's an NPC. But then the only downfall is that it's like, now when I come in to fix his world, I don't get the experience. I don't get my gear, leveling up, whatever. But that might make for an easier, you know, co-op experience of like, let me just jump in and be that NPC and we'll run around together. It doesn't matter. Because then we can at least go with it. That's what I want.
That was literally what I was expecting, was either Crash would have got a benefit for jumping in my game, whether it was money or his weapons went into a special box or whatever the case may be. And then they can scale the weapons to whatever level he's already at or something like that, where it's just a case of you've already got a computer player there. Let me control that character so I can come in the camp and I can do everything exactly like, so I can go into my menu system, everything at the same time. And it just didn't have that, which is a shame. Maybe I didn't give it as much of a chance as I should have. An hour is pretty much nothing in that game. That's pretty much tutorial sense of things. But it was just a case of after the hour, we were both a bit just like, nah, I'm good. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I definitely tell you, keep going with it. It's a lot of fun. I love it. Game number 2 for me, I'm sure you might have checked it out. It's going to be on your Xbox Game Pass again. Just released, Below. So have you played any Below yet?
So I played Below at EGX Rees.
Okay, sweet.
A year ago, when it was like being rumored that it was coming. And I was like, okay, cool. Played it, enjoyed what I played then. I've got it downloaded, just haven't had a chance to play it because I've been playing other things, unfortunately. But you've played it. What do you think?
I played it for 2 hours and I'm totally lost. So I think it's beautiful. I think the cool art design is out of this world. I think the sound design in the game truly captures you, from the drippies in the cave to the ocean to the outside with the lightning and stuff. I think that's so cool. But the only issue with a game like this for me is I literally have no idea where to go. It reminds me of the original Dark Souls, where it would put you in a world and be like, okay, good luck, just go somewhere. And that's what I liked about Ashen, was like, at least you saw parts on the map where you needed to go, which 100%. I was like, yeah, that's what I want. And now Below, of course, it's its own game. But here I am. It's like, where am I supposed to go? I'm going up to the left. I'm going to the right. I'm going up on top of a giant cliffside. And there's literally nothing for me to get involved with. And I'm so lost. And so I made it through level 2, I guess is what they call it. It's essentially the first dungeon plus some. Now I'm on the backside of the whole map over by some ocean, and I literally have no idea where to go. So that's my only downfall of like, give me a little bit of help. I understand if you're not going to teach me the game mechanics, you're not going to tell me how to duck, dodge, roll, sword swipe, but at least be like, hey, maybe you should go this way or go left. Like, I was so lost. It was frustrating. And so I only put about 2 hours in, and I was like, guess what? I'm moving on, folks.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. I'll be able to come back next week and give, hopefully give, or the week after, whenever it is, we'll see, and give some thoughts on the game. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I hate games like that I get the whole, so go and explore. But me, you know, after I've been stuck for an hour and I don't know what the hell I'm doing, you need to just give me a cursor. There needs to be an option for that sort of thing, which is just like, you go this way. Cool. And then you can go away again now, marker, and I can figure it out, and I'm doing that explore, and I'm stuck again. It's like, okay, you go this way. Do you know what I mean? It still ushers you along a little bit. I know some people are like, well, Fixer, you're just dumb, and I'm like, yes, I am. But that's the point. I'm dumb, so it needs to be, they need to dumb down the experience for me to have fun with it. So I totally can relate. It's happened to me in many games beforehand, so I got you.
But definitely cool looking, definitely fun to play, but yeah, frustrating. And it reminds me, you know, Lara Croft Shadow of the Tomb Raider this year had a great system in place where you could crank up some of those helpful hints, and you'd really know where you're supposed to do. That's all I'm asking for. Turn them off, I'll turn them back on, like Fix said. And then moving on to my final game, I touched on it last week that I got the code. This week I've spent so many hours in it. I am totally enraptured of Subnautica Fix.
Nice.
I love it so much. Now, before I just gush all about it, have you played it at all?
I haven't. No, I've not played it. I've seen
oh
it,
my gosh. Fix, let me tell you what, this game is awesome, right? So you're some sort of Martian space crash landed NASA pilot. You land on an alien planet and you're stuck in a giant ocean. Everything is underwater. It's like a survival resource management base building game. And it is so beautiful. I mean, the moment you dive in, there's caves, there's caverns, there's giant fish, there's small fish. You're mining materials. It is everything under the sea, quite literally, and it is so much fun. It's so cool to see the different alien life forms that are either trying to kill you or just swimming past you. It's cool to like build a new life suit. It's build a raft. It's over there. Now I'm building fins for my life suit. Oh my gosh. I can't stop playing it, and I'm only getting further in depth. So now my last point I stopped on was a special NASA spaceship was going to come and save me. I had 34 minutes just to swim around. And so I went down to the deepest part I've ever been. It's like 150 meters under the sea. And I've got about 90 seconds on my oxygen tank. So I can swim all the way down there, touch the floor, see these giant centipede looking sea monsters swim past me, try to eat me. And then I got to swim all the way back. And it is so cool, my guy. Oh my gosh.
So what's the actual objective of the game though? Like, what is it you're actually doing?
So the objective of the game is literally to survive. So there's three modes that you can jump into. Peaceful mode like Minecraft, where really nothing's happening. You don't have to worry about resource management. You don't have to worry about hunger and thirst. There's a normal mode that I'm currently playing where they take everything's still in there, but they take out the hunger management and the dehydration management, which is great. So now it's just become like base building, following a couple small objectives. Like, hey, there's one team that crash potted over to your right, like 1,000 meters. Go swim over there, see what their crash pod looks like. Oh, these guys are going to come save you. Wait the 30 minutes and let's see who it is. So I'm waiting to see that. And then there's the hardest difficulty where you have to balance food and dehydration management, which is like, okay, you're drinking water, you're eating, what kind of stuff are you building? So it's definitely got that resource survival management type gameplay there. And then on top of that, they have small objectives. Like I said, like I've had 2 crash pods now who are like, hey, come save me. And when you get there, of course, like a giant sea monster is eating everybody in there. You find their data and then you go back. You're alone the whole time. There's literally nobody here but you. You'll get a radio message probably once an hour at the most, but it's really just you, the water. You look at your giant building log and you're like, okay, cool. I want to build a bigger oxygen tank. I need to go find X, Y, and Z. I'll go swim over there, hopefully find them.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's cool. And it ties into our first story. Not like we're going to go too fast into that, but it is also free on the Epic's Game Store. So if you're a PC player, hey, Mike's got a free game for you.
Okay. Maybe I'll check it out then. For me, what have I been playing? I've played, so like I said, I'm doing the full Resident Evil rundown right now. So I just finished Resident Evil 0. I bought, shout out to Tom Bock, Snowbite Mike's co-host on Snowbite Mike's podcast. Mike, plug it. What is it?
The Game Time Podcast, once a week. You can find that on youtube.com/SnowbikeMike.
Yeah, so shout out to Tom Bock. So this guy, I follow him on Twitter. He follows me, I followed him back. I'm like, yo, this guy. And he buys a load of game guides, right? So I'm scrolling through. I'm doing my thing on my on one of my local sites, my game sites on Facebook group page. And I see 7 Resident Evil guides for sale. And my eyes light up. I'm like, what? And it's all the originals. So it's 0, Remake 1, 2, which was the one I wanted because 2 is my favourite game of all time. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And Code Veronica and 6. And I was like, I wonder how much. She wanted £100. I was like, I'm not paying £100 for books. It's not happening. I am not that rich. I was like, I'll give you £10 a piece, £70 for 7. And she's like, all right, cool. And I was like, and she was like, that. I was like, including postage. She was like, yeah. And I was like, yo, I just got myself a deal. So we've got every single mainline numbered game apart from X, which is Code Veronica. strategy guide. So what we're doing is me and Haley sort of plan them together. Me and Haley play these games every year. Resident Evil is my favourite franchise of all time, but we're actually doing it on camera this time with a strategy guide. So instead of having to get up a YouTube walkthrough because I don't remember where the heart key is or whatever, we're literally got the guide. Haley's sitting next to me and reading through the guidebook of like, you need this is your inventory items, this is what's going to come, blah, 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 blah. We've already played these games before, so we know what's going on. But we did 0, so I finished that now. Probably my best speed run. It's not really a speed run, but it's my best run. We did it in about 8 hours, I think it took us. Those games can be beaten in under an hour. It's ridiculous, but for me, that was pretty good, so I was very happy. So we finished 0, enjoyed doing that. We've now moved on to Remake 1. So people have been asking, what am I going to do? Am I going to stream OG 1 on the PS1 or not? We've decided to skip OG 1 and go straight to Remake 1. So on the Xbox One X, that's why I'm talking about it. And then next one, Resident Evil 3 on the PS1. Then we go to Resident Evil 2. It's a whole thing, but that's all I've been doing. That's all I'm going to be doing for the next 2 weeks. So good luck about hearing anything about Xbox, I'll be honest with you.
Oh, I love it, Fix. You know, I jumped into your chat yesterday morning, and there it was, just like you said. It's you and Haley. She's got the book. She's reading it too. I'm looking at it like, what's going on here? She's like, oh, you need this many bullets, Fix. And you're like, what's happening? Yeah, it looked like a great time.
I'll tell you just a quick one. At the end of Resident Evil 0, there's this boss fight where you have to... The game's done sort of like Brothers, where like you get to control 2 characters through... a majority part of the whole game, Resident Evil 0, which is the first time they ever did this in the series, and the only time, thankfully. It's a ton of fun, but it does get a little bit frustrating. But, so the end boss, Rebecca, one of your main characters, has to unlock these 4 locks, and your job is to protect her against this big boss. We literally had... enough ammo to destroy this boss, and I couldn't afford to miss a single bullet. I didn't miss a single bullet, ran out of ammo, so I literally ran at the monster with my character and was like, just look at me, please, don't go near her. Just look, as he's running towards her, she literally unlocks the lock just in time before she gets attacked, and we finished the game. And I was like, oh my god. We had a couple of moments where I completely raged, I'm not gonna lie. I got super angry. A licker killed me. A licker in the book, the book just said literally don't attack this licker, the hunter. Sorry, just run past it and just run straight and you'll be fine. Did that, died. So I had to go back about. It was probably worked out about 45 minutes to half an hour's worth of work again, because that's how the Resident Evil games go. If you don't save it, it just wipes out. We were considered doing a no save run as well. We were gonna do it, and I was like. If that would have happened then and there, oh my god, I might have broke something, but I didn't. So we're
taking a little PlayStation, snapped it in half.
Dude, it would have been crazy. Yeah, playing on Xbox One X, the remake on my new TV as well, and I'm like, oh man, this looks nice. Man, this is nice and big, and it's just a ton of fun. A ton of fun.
Awesome,
so very happy. Very, very, very happy. So yeah, that's what's been in our box this week. Let's get into the topic of the show. Topic of the show this week is Epic Games announces free crossplay platform online service for developers. This one come out of nowhere, if we're being honest, which is Epic Games announced today that it will be offering crossplay game services originally built for Fortnite to all developers for free. Announced through the Unreal Engine website, these services have been battle tested by players across several platforms: PC, Mac, iOS, Android, PS4 and Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. And in the roadmap posted, the services will be free for all developers and are open to all engines. That's the key part here. Platforms and stores and developers can choose and mix and match solutions from Epic and others as they desire. The launch will begin with the Unity engine, and Unity integrations will start with a core set of features that will grow over the course of 2019. Crossplay logins, friends, preferences, and profiles and elements are coming between Q2 and Q3 2019 to PC and other platforms throughout the year. This will provide the core functionality for persistent recognizing players across multiple sessions and devices, identifying friends and managing free and paid item elements. There's a ton more coming in Q3. We've got the voice communications, and between that you've got the cross-play party matchmaking between Q3 and Q4 in 2019, and the achievement systems and trophy systems between Q3 and 2019. So to break this down in layman's terms, and for people that don't understand what the hell I just said, because there was a lot of gobbledygook there, Epic has come up with a system that works where you can play, obviously, Fortnite with anything. They are now giving that away for free, which I don't understand. I generally don't understand it. Which the only way I can see the reason they're doing this is because they want to be good guy Epic, which is a case of, we already make all this money off Fortnite, we're not struggling, we don't need to nickel and dime anybody anymore at this current moment, which is sort of my whole motto in my whole life. When I've got it, you can have it, and when I haven't got it, you can't have it. Simple as. That's how I've always been in my life. If I've got money, my friends have got money. When I ain't got no money, my friends ain't got no money. That's just the way it is at the end of the day. And I think that's like a large portion of the gaming audience as well. But yeah, with this is a case of, this can be applied literally across the board to anybody, and will give indie devs, AAA devs, AA devs the features, I guess, would it be the code or whatever it is. I'm not a game dev, so I don't actually know a way to put crossplay in literally any of their games that they want to. So I can see something happening with this, Mike. I really can. I can see indie devs and AA devs are going to jump on this like nobody's business. Like, everyone they are going to jump on this heavily. I think we already know that Bethesda and people like that, they could have done this a long time ago. This isn't something that they couldn't have done. They just haven't been able to do it due to certain companies not wanting to play nice. I predict that Nintendo, PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, and mobile and PC, by the end of 2019, will be a normal functionality that they all play nice together. And PlayStation will be like, hell no. I think they buckled with Fortnite, but there's no chance on earth that they're going to do it with Rocket League and any other game that Ark, I've evolved, Minecraft, insert game here, FIFA, whatever it is. I think they're going to be like, nah, we're good. Fortnite was just one thing, but the rest of these devs, no chance. What do you think? Where'd you come down on it all?
Fix, like you said, that is a lot going on in that statement, in that press release, a news article right there. Some of the things I take away, of course, like you said, Fix, that is the growing future. That's what we're heading towards, is this one ecosystem. Of course, you can play on any console of your dream, but guess what? You can play with all your friends across the multiple ecosystems. That means matchmaking is going to be that much better because there's that much more of a population, and that's what we want.
Yes.
But when I read this one really says to me, Fix, I'm in my mindset of like, we are Epic. We figured out, just like Blizzard had us in the past, of like, you're going to create an Epic account. That means that Epic account can be linked with your PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox, where now we can have the cross-platform play, because we learned that in the early session of like, PlayStation kids couldn't link their account with the Nintendo Switch or vice versa, and we couldn't have that. They figured out that they have to have their own platform, meaning the Epic service. You got to have your own login credentials so we can play under the big umbrella instead of being divided. So what I see this as is more like, hey, if you come to our Epic game platform service that we're going to try to compete against with Steam, your game will be now part of the Epic platform, just like the Blizzard when you log in with Blizzard or EA Origins. And this, if you're in with us, we're already going to have that kid's profile hooked up to his Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation. That will make one step easier to play cross-platform once everybody opens the floodgates. So I don't think it's like, hey, guaranteed, but I think it's like, hey, this is how you get one step closer. We've already battle proven this to happen. And now when those floodgates do open, Xbox and Nintendo Switch will probably be the first ones, like you said, with mobile. It's like, guess what? That kid, Tommy, already has his Epic account. He owns your game, whatever you want to call it, Game Bravo. You're good to go. Good luck and have fun. I think they're setting the groundwork. They're creating the ecosystem that they've already done with Fortnite. That's how I read this article.
Interesting. See, I read it. So, obviously, I read it a little bit different. I read it the technology's there and it's made, but you can put it into your game and make your own. I don't know if I would say like an Epic account system, but it will just be an easier way to have crossplay happen. Totally not a game dev. Don't know. Would love to get a game dev in to talk about it and what they think on this, and maybe I'll reach out to some because I've got some friends in the industry, obviously, to see what they think. But yeah, nonetheless, it's a step in the right direction, right? I have no problem, again, we'll get to this conversation again, I've got no problem with one person owning the market of this. If it's a case of, cool, you need to use the Epic thing and it has to have an Epic account, cool, I've already got one, because everyone's playing Fortnite anyway, so if that means that I use my Epic account and it means I can play Ark Survival Evolved with Mike, cool. I'm good with that, doesn't bother me, as long as it works exactly the same way Fortnite works, which is you mix the PlayStation and Xbox players together, or the Switch and Xbox, and then the PC, and as long as it's exactly the same way as that, I'm good with it, personally. I know what I'm getting in for. It's not like I'm opting in or opting out of certain things. It's, I bring a PC person into my ecosystem, I play with other PC players. I bring a Switch person in, I bring another Switch players. Cool. Works for me. I like the look of it, honestly.
Definitely fix it. I think this is the thing that has to happen. Some third party, AE Epic, has to come in and say, hey, we'll put together all the accounts and services, and then you guys just need to let us be able to cross those platforms that we need to, like they've done with Fortnite. But somebody in that third party realm has to be like, hey, we're going to make the platform for them to sign in with our Epic account, but it will use their Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch actual accounts from you guys, and then we'll be able to do that. So, good first step. Be interesting where it goes in the future. I think, like you said, I think one company in particular will probably not really want to share this and have this truly happen in the long run. But I think we're continuing to get closer. We're smashing that hammer against the wall, and eventually it will break. Will it be the end of next year? Will it be 2 years, 5 years from now? I don't know, but it's going to happen sooner than later, where eventually it's just, hey, you buy the console of your choosing, and we're all going to play together regardless of where you are. But that third party is going to be the first start of it all. You got to have the Epic account.
I think, for me, it just comes down to, it's going to be a case of PlayStation are not going to want this, especially with the new consoles coming. We can see that I see the Xbox One X as in like an iPhone model, where the Xbox One X will be able to play Xbox Scarlet games, but anything before that will not. So Xbox will be like, well, we have a console out there for you guys that you can buy. We play nice with our other systems, cross-play with 360, with One, with so on. Switch is going to be like, cool, we don't care. We're still selling Mario. PC's already an open platform anyway, so people are just going to roll with it. PlayStation are going to be the ones in 2020 when the PS5 drops and be like, this is why you need a PlayStation. Everyone's already over here. I think they're going to be the narrow-minded ones. I think they're going to have the highest price point. I think we're in a really interesting time, and there's going to be some really, really, really interesting conversations starting next year. So I can't wait, if I'm honest with you. Patreon producer this month, obviously, this week again, is your boy Mike Lynch. Keeping the lights on, keeping the show going. Mike, I see you. Your friend tagged me with a picture of you, Nick. Shout out to Nick on Twitter with Mike with a dope-ass haircut. Nick, what up? Mike, you're looking good, baby. You're looking good. Next, into the news anyway. Next news story we got is Epic is getting sued. Epic is getting sued over Fortnite again, and it's once more about a dance. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Alfonso Ribeiro. Thank you. Who started the show as Colton, is suing Epic Games. Alfonso's law firm said the actor is accusing the studio of stealing his dance and commonly referred to it by fans of the show as the Colton dance for the fresh emo in Fortnite. According to TMZ, Alfonso is currently in the process of filing for copyright for the dance. What do you think of this, Mike? Can I copyright a dance? Is that how it works?
No. So we talked about this before with the last, let's call it, I don't know, what are we calling this? The suing of Fortnite over a dance. They kind of got out of it of like, hey, you can't really copyright a dance move unless it's a set choreography piece that's like X amount of minutes. So that's how they got out of this one. It's interesting. The Carlton is so synonymous with this person, with this TV show, that the moment you see it, you know it. Similar to the Millie Rock. The Millie Rock was the one who first sued Epic, and they didn't really get by because the Millie Rock was just like 1 or 2 moves, not a whole choreographed dance. The Carlton might be a little bit different because he does have X amount of steps in there, but I don't think this is really going to go anywhere because they will get off on this of like, hey, this isn't a dance move. You're not copywriting this. It's interesting, though. He seems a little bit late is how I truly feel about this. Like the Millie Rock started last year, I feel like. Carlton, here we are a year later. It's like, if you really wanted to push on this, you should have been with the Millie Rock guy. You should have been with everybody who was saying, hey, you got my music. Chance the Rapper was speaking out. Like that was the wave that you should have been on, especially somebody like Alfonso who has such clout, such, everybody knows who he is the moment he walks into a room. He should have been there with them. I'm like, hey, dude, you're too late for this one. I don't know about it. It will be interesting, though.
Maybe it was a case of it came up on these radars. Like, oh, it's in the game. Cool. And then the bigger and bigger and bigger and Fortnite got is like, wait, they're selling this? Wait, people are paying for my dance move. Because I think we're so in it. I think that's something. Sorry, I'm knocking my phone. We're so in it. We're so in the ecosystem. We do a weekly podcast. We get a ton of Xbox news and other games news. We're in it. We're in the ecosystem where these celebrities are not. They don't understand. They're like, oh, that's a bit weird that you took my move without my permission. All right, cool. And then maybe it comes up on these radars like, wait a minute, they're selling it. Or maybe he went for the copyright. He's now being told that maybe he's gonna get it. He's like, cool, time to sue. Maybe. You just don't know.
Maybe, definitely. You know what? Carlton dance, though, unfortunately, similar. The Millie Rock was a little more recent. The Carlton dance has been there since one of the first 2 or 3 months. I guarantee if you look back on that, that was one of the first dances sold. So it's tough for me to be like, oh, maybe he's behind the times. Like that was like one of the first couple dances in the year. People were all over that. He should have been aware of that. The tide was flying about 6 months ago with people really starting to chatter of like, are you going to pay people for this? And I'm on the side where I think if you are going to steal the people's dance moves, maybe put the music in like Chance the Rapper said and pay them a little bit of money. I agree with that. I think that's the right thing to do. But after what we've seen with the Millie Rock transaction, I think that Epic is going to fly right by this, and they probably have all the money in the world to continue to fight. Not saying Alfonso from Fresh Prince doesn't have that, but they could sit there all day long in litigation and just abuse this man over what is he going to make? He's already got plenty of money. Do we really need that much more money? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But if he wins this, everybody's coming. That's going to be, here's the floodgate. Everybody's coming now.
Personally, I smell a settlement. If there's any chance in God's given earth that he could win this, settlement's happening. This is going to be behind closed doors, settlement. Here's your money. Now leave us alone. Because they do not want to open this up to everybody I'm going to say stole from. I'm going to say it because it's not original. They didn't originally make these dance moves. They are selling other people's dance moves. I guess they animated these dance moves into their characters. It's so interesting. I don't know where I come down. Because a part of me is like, oh, it's flattering that you want to, if this was me, flattering that you want to use something that I created. But yeah, on the same breath, it's like, well, hold up a minute. You're making X amount of money from this. I should have seen something. I'm not saying, I'm with you on that case of like, maybe it's not, I see something every time it's bought, but maybe it's a case of, cool, we want to use the Carlton dance in Fortnite. Here it is. We are going to pay you. You've not asked us. You've not anything. Where I'm going to pay you this amount of money, and whatever we sell it for is our business. Cool. And I think most people will probably be okay with it because they wouldn't be expecting. Maybe now they would be a little bit different, so they know how much it all makes.
Oh,
but at
yeah,
the start,
definitely.
It would have been a case of, Oh, you want to put my move in some silly
Go ahead.
video game?
Yeah.
Cool. You got to remember, Fortnite was dead at one point. No one cared about Fortnite, and then all of a sudden, boom. So, yeah, interesting.
It will be interesting, like you said, like, because if a settlement takes place, there's two ways of thinking this. Like, Carlton is either going to be the advocate for change, which he needs to be. Like, if he's going to take any money for this, he's got to be the one to be like, hey, Millie Rock, dude, hey, whoever, everybody better be here. Now, on the flip side, if he takes, settlement money and then doesn't do anything, and everybody else is out there like, oh man, they didn't pay me. Like, that's kind of messed up in my mind. Like, you got to be the advocate for change right now. If you're going to start asking for money,
business.
You got to be out there, man. You got to be better.
Yeah, no, I totally get it, my dude. I totally get it. It's one of those catch-22s where you're like, I get it. Alright, next news story. Kingdom Hearts 3 final battle trailer confirms second playable character. I'm about to butcher a name, so be prepared. Since Tetsuya no Miyu, I'm so bad with these Japanese names.
I thought you were pretty close there. I was going to tell you did pretty good there.
Look, I can't read English, let alone Japanese. It's not going to work. Hinted about the possibility years ago. Fans have speculated whether Kingdom Hearts 3 will have another playable character beyond Sawyer. Sawyer? I'm thinking Sawyer. Sora. I played the game. It's Sora. You're right. Now, the sequel's... Again, fucking Kingdom Hearts nerds. Get over yourself. The sequel's latest trailer has confirmed that this is the case. And who is this second character? During the Kingdom Hearts 3 final battle trailer, viewable above gameplay of Riku, I'm pretty sure that's correct, as a playable, controlled character is shown around the 1 minute and 6 seconds mark. Snowbite Mike, how excited are you for Kingdom Hearts?
I am at a tipping point for Kingdom Hearts excitement because you know what? Skrillex is on the beat for the theme song, and that beat is so hot right now, people. I cannot tell you. Every time that trailer comes on and you hear that Skrillex beat go on, it's like, oh my God, I'm about to want my face off and play this game for 8 hours straight. So yeah, I'm all about it. None of these characters mean anything to me. As somebody who's never played Kingdom Hearts, this literally doesn't mean anything to me. I'm going to play it because I like all the properties that they have from Toy Story, blah, 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 Donald and Goofy, whatever. I'm going to play this game. And the only reason why I'm interested in watching this trailer is literally because of the Skrillex song. Okay. Other than that, I don't care what's happening.
Snowball Mike, you are literally epitome. You know, I used to sit on this show and be like, who the hell would ever pay for these microtransactions? Snowbite Mike would. Who on earth would this marketing work with these weird songs? Snowbite Mike.
That's me.
Anything that I think, you know what, that's dumb? Nah, Snowbite Mike's biting for it. He loves it. I mean, I'm not calling you dumb. Me. I'm saying you're one of the smart ones, clearly, because I haven't got a fucking clue what's going on out here. Next up, and we're getting close to the end because we're running out of time, players can now buy in-game gold in Red Dead Online with real money. Alongside Rockstar's most recent update for Red Dead Online, they have now released microtransactions in the game in the form of gold bars. There are 6 different bundles for gold bars ranging from $4.99 to $9.99. That's US dollars. That's $999. No, $99. Sorry. So 25 gold bars is for $9.99. 55 gold bars is $19.99. 150 gold bars is $49.99. 245 bars is $74.99, and 350 bars is $99.99. All in dollar amounts. Don't know what it is UK because I've not been playing the game, unfortunately. How much of this are you going to buy? Don't lie to me.
Well, I haven't been playing the game like you just said, so it'll be interesting. But it's always one of those, whenever I do go play, I guarantee they will get $20 to $40 from me my first login because I always love buying stuff. That was the thing with Grand Theft Auto. Every time I would log in, it's like, oh, I'll buy a shark card for $20. I'll buy a shark card for $40 because then I get X, Y, and Z.
Oh my God.
Really, I've talked with my inside man, Steezy Steve, who's in love with Red Dead. He says right now you can buy that gold, but it won't give you some of the extra stuff, kind of like we talked about. Like, I don't know if it's guns in particular, but it's kind of like the gun upgrades or the cool gun customization. It's really just like clothes and stuff like that. So for me, it's like, okay, I'll buy my full Will Smith outfit from Wild Wild West, and I'll probably be good with it. So I don't even know if I'm going to jump back into it.
So why not just grind it out? Why not?
'Cause I don't got time, Fix. I just don't have the
Ain't
time
nobody got time for
to do that.
Okay,
We
go
talked about it last week. Like, here I am. I still have 5 Smash characters. There's 70 people on the roster. Will I ever be able to play as anybody else other than Kirby? Please help me. I don't have the time for that. So yeah, for this, it's like when I jump in, guaranteed they're getting $20 from me, and I'm going for it.
I tell you what, if you just send me over your account details, pay me $20. And I'll grind you out. That's a lie. $20 for that'd probably be about 50 hours, isn't it? In this game,
exactly.
So
you know that.
You're right.
No way.
I get
right.
it. I totally get it. I'm only joking. If you have a problem with Snowbite Mike and his in-game purchases, email him, myxboxingmepodcaster.com. I would love to hear from you.
Well, you know what? I think we're going to have a good reader message that goes along with maybe impulse purchases.
Maybe we do. Next up, Metro Exodus has gone gold early and will release 1 week earlier than expected. 4A Games and publisher Deep Silver were planning to release Metro Exodus on February 22nd, that was. Sorry, words are not working today. But they have good news for fans of the post-apocalyptic franchise. The game is now arriving a little earlier. Metro Exodus will now release on February 15th, 2019, which means it will no longer be launching the same day as BioWare's Anthem. Instead, its competition will be Crackdown 3, Far Cry A New Dawn. The later game was announced at the Game Awards, blah, 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 blah. What do you make of this? So, okay, I've played Metro Exodus. Know a few of the community guys over there at Deep Silver. Great guys. Shout out to Josh. Amazing. Been fantastic with me in my pursuit of trying to get games and stuff like that. So I've enjoyed what I've played of Metro. I love the look of it. I love the gameplay of what I've played so far. Never played a Metro before. Not been one of my games that I've played. But people say to me, Fix, you're going to love this game. You love survival horror. You love a post-apocalypse. I'm like, Joe, what? This is the one I'm going to get in then. So this is the one I've played a little bit of, enjoyed what I've seen. Interesting. Now, I have a problem. Because I have this game dropping the same day as a game that I definitely want to play, which is not Crackdown 3, sorry. Far Cry A New Dawn. I love how everyone was sort of, he's going to say Crackdown. He's going to say Crackdown. No,
he's going to say Crackdown.
No way, never. Far Cry A New Dawn. And, of course, for work reasons, obviously doing this podcast covering Xbox, I do need to play Crackdown as well. So, it's an interesting one where it's like, okay, cool, we're getting out of the way of Anthem, but we're walking in the way of 1.5 big guns. I'll let you decide whatever half you want to decide is that. Where do you come down on Metro Exodus? Are you excited? Do you care? Do you not care? Where are you at?
I'm so excited for Metro Exodus. I cannot wait. A big fan of the Metro games, a single-player survival type shooter game. And it's going to be one of those, on the flip side, though, Fix, it's not like the PUBG where I'm going to spend 400 hours. I'm literally going to play this 10 to 20-hour campaign and be done. So that's the positive for me. I think it's a nice move, getting a week early before BioWare's Anthem. You might have been crushed underneath the weight of that. I definitely think you can take some swings at Far Cry. I'm not even going to put, Crackdown in this mix. Of course, I want to play Crackdown. Everybody knows that. So, but it's just not on the tier of what we're going to see here.
Let me stop you right there then. So you have these 3 games dropping the same day. The one thing I will say Crackdown has going for it, in a positive and negative. The positive is it's in Game Pass. So you're still paying for it. I'm still always that guy, going to be that guy. You've paid for it. It's there. Cool. But do you think psychologically it could be a fact of, oh, well, it's there. It's not going anywhere. I'll eventually get to it for Crackdown. If out of the 3, which would you pick to play day one, number 1? Mike gets home from work. What is the game you're going to be playing?
Exodus, because it will be that single player. I think it's got a bigger hype. I think, of course, it's got the bigger budget. I think it's got much more surrounding or talk about it.
Yeah.
And then I would go to Crackdown. And like you said, it's on my Game Pass. I feel like, yes, I pay for the service, but in my mind, it's like, okay, it's for free. There it is. I can just hit download at any moment. And that's what I want.
Mike, we're not doing this. I will not let you push this propaganda on my podcast. I won't.
I know. Amy told me.
I will not let
She was
it
like,
happen.
"Don't do that, Mike."
I will not let it happen. Let me tell you right now. I don't give a fuck. This show's not going any further. It is not free. You paid for it.
It's true. It's true. I mean, I do pay the monthly service.
There we go. All
It's
right.
part of the service. But in my mind, it's like it's a click of a button. It's a click of a button instead of like clicking your credit card information.
Click of a button. I like it. That's more like
exactly.
it.
We're gonna call it click of a button.
Games with gold. Click of a button.
But it's interesting to think because Far Cry and Crackdown are more similar. Open world. It's going to have multiple missions. You're going to be doing a lot of fetch quests back and forth.
Yes.
Exodus is going to be more of that linear. Hey, we're going from point A to point B. You're going to kill 15 plus 20 creatures in that little segment of cool storytelling. So it's going to be more of like, which game do you prefer? If you're going for the big open world, are you a Far Cry person? Do you want to use your Xbox Game Pass ability and just get Crackdown? How do you feel about that day? For me, it's like, hey, I'm going to play Metro Exodus. I know that's the big title right there. It's going to be a single-player story. I'm going to get it done in 10 to 20 hours, and I'll move on from there. At least I'm part of that.
I generally believe, as much as I love the look of Metro and I played it, if you hand me Far Cry and Metro together, I'm picking Far Cry all day long. For me, and then Crackdown can sit and wait for about 10 months. But I don't know. I really hope I can get these games early. I hope that they come through the post. Shout out to the PR teams, get them to me so I can review them both. But please don't send them straight away. If it's gone gold early, get it out to reviewers early. Because please, I do not going to get bogged down by all this. I really hope so. We'll see though. We shall see. Let's talk about the click of the button games this month.
I like that. That's a good buzzword.
Dragon Age 2 and Never Alone and QB from December 1st to December 31st. Dragon Age 2 from... Dragon Age 2 from December 1st to December 15th. And Never Alone from December 16th to Jan 15th. And last but not least, Mercenaries Playground of Destruction from December 16th to December 31st. Mike... If people want to email in, they can head over to myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com with their questions, comments, and concerns. We got one here today. I've got to make this text bigger because my eyes are killing me. So here we go. Hello, MC Fixer and Snowbite Mike. As a follow-on to last week's podcast about Amazon and buying Xbox X credits in shops, I've actually never thought that by doing so, I was giving Xbox less, but I still think I'm more comfortable doing it. That way, I suspect it's still more than buying a disc version. We'll break it down after. I do have some impulse control, but in the past, I've bought games I've regretted based on hype. Far Cry 5, Assassin's Creed Origins, how dare you, and Final Fantasy 15. Oh my god, me and you are going to fall out, Jonathan. Spring to mind. And then, I've not enjoyed them much or at all. Those few minutes it takes to get a credit card to buy them or go get the disc version seems to make me think a bit more without the distraction that exists at home, and the exercise won't kill me 100%. I'm definitely a total hypocrite with Amazon. I use it all the time because it's so convenient. I've ordered stuff before at work and got home before, and it gets home before I did. I know places like GameStop are in all probably doomed in long term, and I don't have an actual problem with Amazon themselves, just one company monopolizing everything from Jonathan. So you've got a lot here to break down, Jonathan. Again, thank you so much for the email. myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com. Stop your car right now. Send in an email. Let's talk about Mike's microtransaction problems. So let's talk about the impulse bias. That's where I would start with this one. So I do have some impulse control, but the past I've bought games I've regretted based on hype. Far Cry 5. So Far Cry 5, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Final Fantasy 15. All of those games are sequels to games that are already out there. So I'm a bit confused to why or how you were super let down by those specific games. And again, never buy in on the hype. Ever. Never, ever, 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 ever buy in. The only game I can honestly say I've ever bought in on the hype was Watch Dogs, and I will never, ever, 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 ever do that again. because there is so much out there. There is content out there to be watched. There is live streams before these games are even out. There is non-spoiler content that will tell you a lot of information. Make sure you go and do your research before purchasing $50 or $60 or pounds games. That is my opinion of this. I would love to know what you didn't like about all those 3 games, though. Far Cry 5, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Final Fantasy 15. Only because I love every single one of those games. So I'd be super interested what you didn't like about each of them.
It's interesting because I'm actually similar to him. I bought all those games, not really because of the hype, but because, like, you know how big they were. They were sequels. We were going to continue on. They were going to be great games. But I wouldn't say I didn't like them as opposed to I fell off with them. Like, when I look back on Final Fantasy 15, I probably logged in about 10 hours and then got either bored of driving the car back and forth, riding the chocobo, and I think there was other game titles that captured me more. Assassin's Creed Origins kind of fell to the wayside. I know a lot of people loved it, or they moved on past it. Bayek's story wasn't that impressive as Cassandra's and Alexios in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then Far Cry 5. We've talked about it. Since Far Cry 4, I've experienced motion sickness, and I just kind of dropped those games off. So actually, it's funny. Those 3 titles for me, I purchased and I moved past and never really returned back to. I will say I really like, out of those 3, Final Fantasy 15, I wish I put in more hours, but I think the car rides and then other games that came out really pushed that one to the wayside for me. And it's tough. We just talked about it with a click of a button. That's how fast it literally takes. 2 clicks of a button for it to go, purchase this game, here's your credit card information, confirm, and it's over. Just like that. You already bought the game. It's downloading. There's no backsies. So it's tough. Impulse control really ranges for people. Some people are on a strict budget. They know better than that. Some people are like, man, like, bang, 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 I'm done, and now I'm buying this game. And then some people are like, hey, like, what am I supposed to do? You really brought up some great ones of live streams, different ways to look up games. But I've noticed in this generation, we're kind of moving away from the hands-on demo. And that one for me is a big one of, like, I can watch Fix play Final Fantasy 15, but if I don't have my hands on it, feeling the fluidity, feeling how quick the game is, or feeling what I don't and dislike, it's tough for me to be like, am I supposed to purchase this game because it looks cool and Fix is talking about it and I want to play it? Or am I not supposed to purchase this game because truly I can't go hands-on with it? I don't know if I'm going to fall off in 10 hours from it, you know?
Yeah. No, I get... Joe, what you make some good points. There's definitely games that I've said don't trust live streams for as well, where it's like... I always say don't have a negative... Which is funny because I'm the biggest hypocrite of this statement which I'm about to make because I would do a podcast, but... A lot of people like to say, oh, that looks shit. It's like, but you've not played the game. Or that looks bad, but you've not played the game. Like, and don't get me wrong, we do it right here on the podcast. It's just something we do because we do it as a job. It's literally, we have to be critical and positive on things. That is our job as bringing you news and stuff like that. That's why you guys listen. That's what happens. Again, it still shocks me that anybody listens. But the interesting, I get it. I get what you're saying with these games. Far Cry was more Far Cry. Assassin's Creed for me was the biggest change in Assassin's Creed. So I absolutely adored that game. You know that if you've listened to this podcast. And Final Fantasy 15 was the first ever Final Fantasy game I ever finished. So to be fair, you've picked a crop of games there that are really near and dear to my heart, funnily enough, through this generation. So maybe that's why I have a little bit more of a, oh, how dare you? But I get it. The impulse control thing, I totally get it. I am someone that is very... I'm very responsible with money. So for me, because I don't have much of it, and all my finances are out there for people to see. Because I don't have much of it, I'm very, very, very responsible with money, and impulse is not a thing for me. I'll give you an example. The Resident Evil 2 Collector's Edition just went back on sale in the UK. They sold out of them and they went back on sale. It's £250 with a Leon statue, deluxe edition. Do you think I bought it? No, I couldn't. I couldn't do it. I generally couldn't do it. I didn't have the money to do it. Do I want it? Yes. Do I really want it? Oh my God, so much so it could be the best thing I ever owned. But it's too much money. I just can't do it. Oh my God, Snowbite Mike is picking up. What you got here, Mike? Talk to us. Talk to the audio listeners. What have you got here? Let's have a look.
So I'm gonna paint the picture for the audio listeners. You know, we talk about impulse control. We talk about things like Fixers talk about Resident Evil 2 Collector's Edition.
Means the world to me.
There is a moment in your life where you're gonna say, "Man, I really need this 18-inch tall giant Titanfall mech robot statue that costs like $200." Or, man, I really think I love Elder Scrolls Online. I really need this cool demonic statue in my life. And then you say to yourself a week later, gosh darn it, why didn't I just buy the game? Did I really need this giant statue in my life? Or did I need this really bad statue in my life? Now, there's two sides to this. Of course, the Titanfall one is really nice. It lights up. It's giant. It's massive. It's definitely a set piece. It's a talk about piece. But here we are, years later, removed from Titanfall 1. Did I really need you? No. Do I like you? Yeah. But on the flip side,
but I think that's the big thing. Is that's the big thing? Is I like you? Yes. Do I need you? No.
No, no, I don't. And then on the flip side, sometimes you get stuck with these collector's editions like Elder Scrolls Online, where you look at this and you're like, man, this statue is janky and cheap as can be. It is some soft plastic. There's no detail, no color to this at all. The guy's sword is bent. It doesn't even look good. And now I'm stuck with this dumb statue in my life that nobody's going to buy back. What was I doing? And so I really like Jonathan for like taking the time to say, you know what, 100%. Sometimes I go on walks. I clear my head. I go out there and walk about it. And no matter what in life, you're going to have those purchases that you regret. That's just part of life. That's 100%. How it goes. But I definitely speak about like, hey, go take that walk. And the ease of convenience of just the click of a button now has really taken over, where MC Fixer's hyping up this game. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm so pumped up on this game. And next thing you know, I'm clicking XX on this thing and I'm buying things. And it's just stuff. That's the day and age that we live in, because that's the convenience that we all wanted. You talked about it with Amazon of like, I want this product now. It's coming to me now. But on the flip side, there is no time to think twice about it, because the moment you hit purchase, it's going through.
So, okay, I want to challenge the audience. Email it, myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com. I want a couple of emails here. This is what I want. So, I'd love to hear if there's a game that I've sold you on, specifically, that you have bought and hated me for, and been like, why on earth did I buy this? Fixer, I think you're full of shit, number one. And number two, what is your biggest disappointment in impulse buying? Could be a statue, could be a game, could be a game guide, could be a video game photo. Doesn't matter what it is. Email in myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com. So that is a game that I have sold you on, that you've bought, you've been hyped for, and then you've been like, what the hell, this is terrible. And what is your biggest impulse buy, your biggest regret impulse buy? I'd love to hear about those.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to hear those stories too. That would be great.
Let's get out of it, dude. Time is up. If you want to hear more of us, remember, youtube.com/mcfixer, youtube.com/snowbiteMike. Let's plug, and get ourselves out of here. Mike, what you got to plug this week, my friend?
What is going on, everybody? Make sure to tune in to twitch.tv/snowbikemike, where I'm streaming to you live 5 nights a week on that 7 p.m. West Coast, Best Coast time frame. So I know all my UK buddies, you're out there sleeping, just waking up in the morning. But I will tell you, each and every Sunday, we've been hosting a fun, community-driven tournament where I put out cash prizes, I shoutcast, and we bring the whole community together. Past 2 weeks, we've done Super Smash Bros. People are loving it. We've had 17 contestants. We've battled it out for about 3 hours in a game, and it's been a lot of fun. So if you guys are interested in maybe, competing, showing everybody that you're the best, come on down on an early Saturday morning or Sunday morning if you're out there. I guess that's Monday morning for you guys, Sunday evening for me. Something to think about. That's what I'm plugging.
You can follow me, obviously, everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, twitch.tv/mcfixer. Find me everywhere. The big one, obviously, for us streamers is watch time. And that's the one thing I want to plug. If you're somebody that works from an office and you're allowed to put up web browsers in the background, or if you're somebody that is at home or has a mobile and you're like, oh, Fix is live. What is the best way, or Snowbite Mike, or any streamer that you know, what's the best way to support them if it's not financially? I totally understand that everyone can't drop donations. Everyone doesn't have Twitch Prime. Everyone can't afford to sub. So how do you help grow a streamer? It is watch time, which doesn't mean you literally have to be sitting there watching. It is getting the lurkers up. That's what I like to shout out lately, is my lurker crew. It is people that are... they're not at their phones and stuff, but they're keeping up streams. And what that does is it helps us grow and gets our numbers higher, which means that we rank higher on Twitch, which means that we can bring in more people. My concurrents have been around 10 to 15 when I play certain types of games, usually shooters. And that's something that I really, really, really need to grow. So whether you're watching or not, if you can have me up on the background with a tiny bit of sound, because for some reason Twitch doesn't let you have it if it's muted, so it has to be a tiny little bit of sound, I would appreciate it. Just keep it up in the background. You haven't got to be watching it. Put it on the mobile's lowest, put the charger in, and just let it sit there. I would appreciate you. That is all for this week. Until next time, I will love you, leave you, and see you all later. Snowball, mate, thank you very much, sir. Goodbye.
See ya.